हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू मनु लॉ क्लासेस। मेरा नाम गौतम दीक्षित है। मैं फ्रेंड्स, इन टुडेज वीडियो वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस द मोस्ट important न्यूज़ from the Hindu edition of 12 July. Now friends, today we will not follow the normal procedure that is starting from the first page, but from now on we will be starting which is most important in today's newspaper. So first I will take those news. So we will start from text and context. So let's have a look over here. सो फटाफट एक छोटे से डेटाज लेते हैं. अनसेफ abandonment. So there is a data. There is a number of children who have died in a state-run specialized adoption agencies. ठीक है, who have died. It is 819 since 2018. This has been the source which has been provided by Central Adoption Resources Authority. Now, if you will see the main reason for the fatalities of which maximum most of the children they are below 2 years of age is unsafe abandonment. Okay, so this is like कि अगर बच्चा 2 साल के नीचे है और उसको आपने कहीं पे भी छोड़ दिया. Okay, so they have been found with dog bites as well as being in a condition too vulnerable to be saved. Okay, अब जो हमारे जितने स्पेशलाइज्ड एडॉप्शन एजेंसीज होते हैं दे आर मेंट फॉर चिल्ड्रन बिलो 6 ईयर्स एंड चिल्ड्रन हु आर ओल्डर देन 6 दे आर हाउस्ड इन चाइल्ड केयर इंस्टीट्यूशंस. Now aiding Sri Lanka, so 3.8, so in dollar billion, this is the amount which has been committed by India to help Sri Lanka during the economic crisis. For example, हम लोग कल के न्यूज़पेपर में पढ़ रहे थे कि that economic crisis in Sri Lanka has led to political crisis. Okay, जो वहाँ के प्रेसिडेंट हैं गोटाबाया राजपक्सा. Now he has offered to tender his resignation. Ranil Wickremesinghe, now he is also going to resign for the paving the way for formation of all party government to help the country to sail through this crisis. Okay, now next is a line of credit has been provided by India to Sri Lanka to ensure the flow of essential commodities from India over the last several months, and it also includes purchase of fuel. And now if you will just say that our external affairs minister, he has said that the government of India's neighborhood first policy enables India to make special effort to support country's neighbors in a manner that meets their requirement. The next is world population. So 11th July it is celebrated as World Population Day. Please make a note of it. Okay, so if you will just see that 8 in billion, this is the expected world population by November 15, 2022. Please make a note of it according to a UN report. उसके बाद क्या ये रिपोर्ट क्या कहता है that India will surpass China. और see, this is very important fact. India will surpass China as the most populous country by 2023. पहले ये फिगर 2027 हुआ करता था, अब देखिए ये फिगर 2023 पे आ गया है. The next is Secretary General कौन है in United Nations के, then it is Antonio Guterres. It is a factual information, so please make a note of it. Now the forecast by the United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs has said that the world population is growing at its slowest pace since 1950. The next is a fall in mangoes. So there is 40% fall in mango production in many parts of Pakistan according to farmers. Now India में भी mango production has fallen down because of very high temperature and water shortages. तो जो पाकिस्तान में दिख रहा है वो इंडिया में भी है. आपने कुछ दिन पहले केरला के कार्डमम के बारे में पढ़ा होगा, कार्डमम क्रॉप. तो ये कार्डमम जो स्पाइसेस है इसका भी प्रोडक्शन गिर गया बिकॉज ऑफ अनटाइमली रेन एंड एक्सेसिव हीट. Especially this crop cardamom is very sensitive to heat. Now the next is increase in pay. So in $1,000, so the median wage for an H1B worker in 2021 was $108,000. Okay, now this H1B workers, so they are the majority of H1B workers in US. Okay, they consist of 8% of US workers. Now coming to the next and very important, dark matter. So first important question is कि पहले हम ये देखते हैं कि what is dark matter. ठीक है, व्हाट इज डार्क मैटर। तो हम देखेंगे कि डार्क मैटर इट इज़ मेड अप ऑफ पार्टिकल्स दैट डू नॉट हैव अ चार्ज। नॉर्मली अगर आप देखेंगे कि कोई भी मैटर होगा उसके पास अपना एक चार्ज होता है। अगर चार्ज है किसी भी मैटर के पास, चार्ज मतलब या तो पॉजिटिवली चार्ज होगा या तो नेगेटिवली चार्ज होगा। तो अगर चार्ज है देन दे विल इंटरैक्ट विद इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक waves. For example, the best example of electromagnetic waves is light. ठीक है, so if you will just see that these particles, since they don't carry any charge, so they are called as dark matter because they do not emit any light. Okay, emitting the light is an electromagnetic phenomenon. बहुत बार ये क्वेश्चन आता है कि light is which form of wave. So light is a electromagnetic form of wave and they possess mass like normal matter and they interact through gravity. ठीक है, तो डार्क मैटर का क्या है, दो कैरेक्टरिस्टिक है। एक तो इनके पास चार्ज नहीं होता है, दे डोंट कैरी एनी चार्ज, ओके, दे डोंट कैरी एनी चार्ज, पहला। और दूसरा क्या होता है, दैट जो इंटरैक्शन होता है दे हैव मास, ओके, सो द ग्रेविटेशनल इंटरैक्शन टेक्स प्लेस। उसके बाद अगर हम देखेंगे that as of today the most sensitive dark matter detector is in United States in the South Dakota. It is called as Lux Zeppelin LZ. अब हम देखेंगे कि पूरे वर्ल्ड में, ठीक है, there are three types of forces which are at work. Those are nuclear force, okay, strong nuclear force, weak nuclear force, electromagnetic force and gravitation. Now dark matter, they are made up of particles which do not have charge. It means they will not be interacting through electromagnetic interaction और इसीलिए इनको हम dark matter कहते हैं, okay, but they possess mass like normal matter and hence they interact through gravity. ठीक है, पर जो gravitational force होता है ये extremely weak force होता है और इसको डिटेक्ट करना बहुत ही डिफिकल्ट होता है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल ये जो डिटेक्टर है लुक्स ज़ैपलिन, ठीक है, ये डार्क मैटर को तभी डिटेक्ट कर सकता है जब इसके पास डस्ट ना हो, मीन्स इट इज़ सो सेंसिटिव। नाउ डार्क मैटर्स इफ यू विल जस्ट सी, अगर हम अपने यूनिवर्स की बात करेंगे तो यूनिवर्स को स्टडी करने के लिए हमारे पास काफ़ी सारे तरीके हैं। आइदर वी कैन एनालाइज आवर यूनिवर्स एट द लेवल ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स एंड न्यूक्लियाई और एटम, मतलब एटॉमिक स्केल पे, और एट द लेवल ऑफ गैलेक्सीज और गैलेक्सी क्लस्टर्स। ठीक है, अगर हम देखेंगे दैट हाउ मेनी एविडेंस वी हैव, ओके, टू डिटेक्ट दिस डार्क मैटर, सो इन दिस कॉन्टेक्स्ट देयर इज वन टर्म विच इज कॉल्ड एज बुलेट क्लस्टर ऑफ गैलेक्सीज। तो ये जो बुलेट क्लस्टर है इट इज़ फॉर्म थ्रू द मर्जिंग ऑफ टू गैलेक्सी क्लस्टर्स एंड आवर फिजिस्ट्स हैव फाउंड दैट while doing the calculation they have said that we can only explain this merger of two galaxy clusters if we believe that the dark matter exists in the universe. अगर हम सिर्फ visible part of universe को लें और उसके बेसिस पे अगर हम मैथमेटिकली एक्सप्लेन करना चाहें मर्जर ऑफ टू गैलेक्सीज तो वी कैन नॉट एक्सप्लेन इट। जो एनोमली आता है इट शोज द एग्जिस्टेंस ऑफ डार्क मैटर। ठीक है, उसके बाद देयर आर वेरियस अदर वेज इन विच इट हैज़ बीन शोन, स्पेशली स्लोन डिजिटल स्काई सर्वे एंड स्टडीज, ओके, दे हैव फाउंड दैट येस देयर इज समथिंग विच इज़ कॉल्ड एज डार्क मैटर। फाइन, अब व्हाट आर द कैंडिडेट्स फॉर डार्क मैटर पार्टिकल्स, मतलब अगर डार्क मैटर को अगर स्टडी करना हो तो कौन सा ऐसा पार्टिकल है जो हमें स्टडी करना चाहिए, तो उसमें सिर्फ एक ही पार्टिकल आता है दैट इज़ कॉल्ड एज न्यूट्रिनो। ओके, अब न्यूट्रिनो का प्रॉब्लम क्या है, न्यूट्रिनो का प्रॉब्लम ये है कि दैट न्यूट्रिनो इट डज नॉट कैरी एनी चार्ज, ओके, it is very light, okay, and it doesn't fit the bill. So other particles is Z boson, okay, a particle that mediates the electroweak interaction. Fine, so these are some of the particles through which we can study the dark matter. The next is new guidelines to prevent unfair trade practices. So यहाँ पे अगर हम देखेंगे we are talking about Consumer Protection Authority. Okay, Consumer Protection Authority. So Consumer Protection Authority ने it was established under Consumer Protection Act 2019. अब कंज्यूमर प्रोटेक्शन अथॉरिटी ने एक गाइडलाइन निकाला है टू प्रिवेंट अनफेयर ट्रेड प्रैक्टिसेस in related to service charges in hotels and restaurants. Fine. So if you will just see that according to the new guidelines, just come over here. So according to the new guidelines, any hotels or restaurants, they are prohibited from charging extra charges automatically or by default or by any other name which is not included in the cost of food. ठीक है. So if you will just see that hotels and restaurants, they are no longer allowed to restrict any entry or services based on the collection of service charges. The next is that hotels cannot add service charges to their bills and charge GST on the total. ठीक है. जैसे कि यहाँ पे देखिए, if a consumer enters a restaurant or orders something, the restaurant policy cannot require them to tip. मतलब उनको फोर्स नहीं कर सकते to pay the tip for ordering food or etc. Now this new guidelines is based on the grievances which CCPA received through the National Consumer Helpline, okay, related to unnecessary levying of service charges in the bill. Now this service charge, as you must have seen also, कि जो हम फूड ऑर्डर करते हैं उसके कॉस्ट के अलावा ये एक्स्ट्रा कॉस्ट उसमें ऐड कर दिया जाता है और उस पर भी GST कलेक्ट किया जाता है. Now if the consumer is forced to pay service charge, so the consumer, they can register their complaint on the National Consumer Helpline, okay, which works as an alternate dispute redressal mechanism at the pre-litigation level by calling 951915 or through the NCH mobile app. Then the consumer can also file this unfair trade practice with Consumer Commission electronically through edakhil.nic.in. Now let's come to the consumer CCPA, Central Consumer Protection Authority. So it is a body which has been established under Consumer Protection Act 2019 to regulate matters related to violation of the rights of consumer, okay, and it also look into the grievances related to unfair trade practices or false or misleading advertisements that are not in the interest of public. Now if you will just see that under section 18 of the CPA 2019, the CCPA, that is Central Consumer Protection Authority, it has the right to protect, promote and enforce the rights of the consumer and prevent the violation of their rights. The next is failing the forest. तो यहाँ पे we are talking about फॉरेस्ट राइट्स एक्ट. ठीक है. तो इस आर्टिकल में फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट डेवलपमेंट वर्सेस एनवायरनमेंट. Development versus environment. So this is a dichotomy which always goes on. ओके कि किसको प्रायोरिटी मिलनी चाहिए. तो जो एडवोकेसी ग्रुप्स होते हैं डिफरेंट लाइक अगर इन्वायरमेंटल एडवोकेसी ग्रुप्स हैं, सो दे विल बी प्रमोटिंग इन्वायरमेंट. जो डेवलपमेंट एडवोकेसी ग्रुप्स हैं, दे विल बी एडवोकेटिंग डेवलपमेंट. ठीक है. इसके सेंटर में जो एक एक्ट आता है, ठीक है ना, दैट इज़ कॉल्ड एज फॉरेस्ट कंजर्वेशन एक्ट. ओके. उसमें एक नया रूल नोटिफाई किया है इन्वायरमेंट मिनिस्ट्री ने टू रिप्लेस द अर्लियर रूल्स विच हैज़ कम अंडर स्क्रूटिनी. तो अगर हम यहाँ पे देखेंगे कि देयर इज़ वन एक्ट जिसको हम कहते हैं फॉरेस्ट राइट्स एक्ट. उसका जो ट्रेडिशनल नाम है दैट इज़ शेड्यूल्ड ट्राइब्स एंड अदर ट्रेडिशनल फॉरेस्ट ड्वेलर्स रिकॉग्निशन ऑफ फॉरेस्ट राइट्स एक्ट 2006. So this is the act which gives rights to people who are living in forest. They give them rights over patches of forest land. So यहाँ पे हम देखेंगे कि February 13 को सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने ऑर्डर किया that more than 10 lakh Adivasis and other forest dwellers, they should be evicted from forest land across 17 states. This was followed by filing the petitions by wildlife NGOs, and then on February 28 the Supreme Court stayed this order. Now Supreme Court has made it clear that there will be no forcible eviction. Okay. Now the wildlife groups, they have went to court to argue the implementation of FRA could lead to encroachments and fresh clearance of forest land for human dwellings. तो ये जो अमेंडमेंट है फॉरेस्ट राइट्स एक्ट के अंदर, इसके अंदर ये है कि अगर जिनका ट्रेडिशनल राइट्स है फॉरेस्ट में, अगर उनको एविक्ट कर दिया तो ठीक है। सो यहाँ पे जो दूसरा पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू है, दैट इज़ ह्यूमन राइट्स ग्रुप्स, दे आर्ग्यू दैट द FRA, that is Forest Right Act, it was passed by Parliament and it was aimed to correct the historical injustices to the tribal people since colonial times. तो colonial time से जो ब्रिटिश लोगों का व्यू था इंडियन फॉरेस्ट को लेके, तो they used to consider that government has supreme control over forest and they can evict any traditional dwellers from forest. This in the past it has led to many tribal revolts in India during pre-independence time. Now, what is the objective of FRA? So, if we will just see that FRA, it was meant for forest dwellers, but it could also have been a powerful tool for conservation. ठीक है ना? तो यहाँ पे the author is arguing कि जो Forest Right Act है, ठीक है, इसको दोनों पैराडाइम से समझने की ज़रूरत है। मतलब कि Forest Right Act जो है, it is not a tool that if a certain piece of land is given to any forest dweller or Adivasi, that does not mean that they should cut all the trees. Okay, they should protect the trees which are important for their livelihood. On the other hand, if this forest land is diverted for big development projects like mining or highways or roads, so definitely it means that all the trees will be felled or it will submerge. अब यहाँ पे क्या होता है कि इन्वायरमेंट वर्सेस डेवलपमेंट, ठीक है, ये एक डिबेट चालू हो जाता है। तो इसमें सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने पास्ट में कुछ ऐसे डिसीजंस लिए हुए हैं जहाँ पे सुप्रीम कोर्ट हैज़ गिवन द राइट टू ट्रेडिशनल फॉरेस्ट ड्वेलर्स और ग्राम सभास टू डिसाइड ऑन द projects which might harm the environment. So if we will just see that in 2013 Supreme Court asked the Gram Sabhas to take decision on Vedanta Group's bauxite mining project in Odisha's Niyamgiri Hills. So if you will just see that all the 12 Gram Sabhas which were going to be impacted by this project, they rejected the mining in the Niyamgiri Hills. The next was Lippa in Himachal Pradesh. It was a hydropower project and it would have led to submergence of forest land and heavy siltation in the river, but again it was rejected by the local Gram Panchayats. Then if we will just talk about Mafitel Dam, that is under construction in Manipur. So if once it starts functioning, it will lead to submergence of 1215 acres of land. Okay, so in 2015 the National Green Tribunal has asked the state to seek forest clearance for the project. Okay, so to obtain the forest clearance, the state government, they have to prove that the rights of the tribal people and forest dwellers would not be affected, but यहाँ पे state government has refused to recognize the rights of the people living in that forest area. Now friends, from the editorial, the important news is that why the world needs peace in Ukraine. So over here, if we will just talk about it, so Russia Ukraine crisis के बारे में बात हो रही है, ठीक है, रशिया यूक्रेन क्राइसिस. नाउ वी ऑलरेडी नो दैट द वॉर हैज़ बीन elongated and due to elongation of war there has been disruption in global trade. ठीक है, तो इसके वजह से क्या हुआ है, डिसरप्शन इन ग्लोबल ट्रेड की वजह से, कि जैसे कि हम इंडिया में भी देख रहे हैं, देयर इज़ इन्फ्लेशन, द कमोडिटी प्राइसेस इट इज़ गोइंग ऑन. Okay, fine. So inflation and commodity prices, they are going on, and now because of the rising fuel prices, there is a problem of current account deficit which most of the developing countries they are facing. Now will there be a peace or not, that we have to see. Now if we will just take the stock of current situation, तो यहाँ पे अगर हम देखेंगे, जो रशिया का जो पूरा फोकस है इस वक्त एक रीजन के ऊपर है जिसका नाम है डॉनबास. Now Donbas, it is very rich industrial, manufacturing and agricultural region which is in eastern Ukraine. So Russia wants to annex this region to extend its outreach and to create a land link to Crimea. So Crimea was already annexed by Russia in 2014. Now some analysts also says that Russia is not only targeting eastern Ukraine, Russia is targeting the whole southern Ukraine to provide a connectivity with the territory of Russian separatist Republic of Transnistria. There is one region in eastern Moldova which is called as Transnistria. It is also a Russian separatist republic. मतलब यहाँ के भी लोग चाहते हैं रशिया के साथ इंटीग्रेट होने का. So the objective may be to capture all the southern Ukraine so that there is a land link till Transnistria. अब अगर हम यूक्रेन की बात करेंगे, सो दे आर एमिंग एट एक्सपेलिंग रशियंस फ्रॉम ऑल ऑफ यूक्रेन, इवन क्रीमिया. फाइन. देन इफ यू विल टॉक अबाउट द सीरियस एफर्ट्स, so the serious efforts is not coming currently. If you will just see that Israel and Turks, they have been given up their efforts. Then the visit of Secretary General Antonio Guterres okay, has not gone in a great way to find a military truce between both the countries. Okay, now there is one very famous diplomat called as Henry Kissinger, who is 99 years old. He gave a concept that there is one solution to this crisis, that is status quo ante bellum, that is to recognize the position of two forces before Russia's invasion, which began on February 24. Now the next is that if you will just see that Russia, which has now changed its tactics, it is now focusing on narrow targets. So it has made a significant progress capturing every major town in Donbass and Mariupol, which is a key port in eastern Ukraine. अब यहाँ पे ये एक केस है कि अगर ये वॉर इलोंगेट हुआ तो इसका जो सबसे ज़्यादा फ़र्क है, जैसे कि मैंने भी आपको बताया, it is going to be on developing countries. Already the developing countries, they are facing the fallout of COVID-19. So if you will just see that many countries including Sri Lanka, China, which is a major manufacturing hub, तो COVID-19 की वजह से वैसे ही dislocation हुआ है. And then this Russia-Ukraine crisis, which has come just after the COVID-19, now it has led to more economic crisis throughout the world. If you will just see the World Trade Organization's Director General Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, she has said that the war in Ukraine, it has created immense human suffering, but it has also damaged the global economy at a critical juncture. Its impact will be felt around the world, particularly in low-income countries. Some of the impacts which she has highlighted is smaller supplies and higher prices for food mean that the world's poor could be forced to do without it. Now friends, the next is mediation bill. So there is a parliamentary standing committee on law and justice which is headed by BJP leader Sushil Kumar Modi. They have made certain amendments, they have suggested certain amendments to the mediation bill. This mediation bill, it aims to institutionalize mediation and establishment of Mediation Council of India. Two things which has been highlighted by this committee is the first, that they have cautioned against making pre-litigation mediation compulsory. मतलब कि कोर्ट में जाने से पहले मेडिएशन का ट्राई करो, ठीक है. एंड इट हैज़ वार्न्ड द सेंटर अगेंस्ट द प्रोविजन टू गिव हाई कोर्ट्स द पावर टू फ्रेम रूल्स फॉर मेडिएशन. मीन्स नॉर्मली रूल्स कौन फ्रेम करता है? पार्लियामेंट फ्रेम करती है, बट हियर द पावर हैज़ बीन गिवन टू हाई कोर्ट्स टू फ्रेम द रूल्स फॉर मेडिएशन. नाउ what are this why there is objection on this? So let's come to the first objection, that is pre-litigation mediation. तो यहाँ पे the story is that the pre-litigation mediation making it mandatory before approaching the courts may actually result in delaying of cases, and it may be an additional tool in the hands of prompt litigants to delay the disposal of cases. मतलब जो चाहते हैं कि cases delay हो, उनके हाथ में एक ये additional tool आ जाएगा to delay the cases. The second is there is clause 26 of this mediation bill that which says that court annexed mediation, including pre-litigation mediation in court annexed mediation center, shall be conducted in accordance with the practice, directions or rules whatever name called by the Supreme Court or the High Court. मतलब कि जो रूल सुप्रीम कोर्ट और हाई कोर्ट बनाएंगे मेडिएशन रूल के थ्रू उसी से मेडिएशन होगा. तो यहाँ पे थोड़ा यहाँ पे प्रॉब्लम है कि दिस इज नॉर्मली डन बाय पार्लियामेंट एंड नॉट बाय हाई कोर्ट्स और सुप्रीम कोर्ट्स. The next is the Supreme Court has asked the center to simplify and streamline bail. So Supreme Court has observed that the investigating agencies, they are showing a mindset which leans more towards the draconian power of arrest rather than the protection of individual liberty. So the Supreme Court bench has said that let's have a new act on granting of bail. Now there is a problem that there are many under trial prisoners who are illiterate, poor and even women, and their social circumstances compel them to inherit a culture of offense. Okay, एक ये problem है. And then investigating agencies, they fail to use the power of arrest sparingly. So in a democracy there can never be an impression that it is a police state. मतलब आप हमेशा अरेस्ट करते जाओ, जेल में डालते जाओ और फिर ट्रायल्स उनका लंबे लंबे समय तक चल रहा है. So that is not healthy for democracy. The next is AI based Mandarin translation devices for army. So Indian soldiers who are patrolling on the line of actual control, okay, for them there has been an AI based Mandarin translation devices. So 75 AI based products and technologies has been unveiled by Union Defense Minister at Defense Synopsism. The next is the Prime Minister unveils national anthem, national emblem atop new Parliament building. So this our national emblem, which has been taken from the lion capital at Sarnath. Okay, so it is 6.5 meter tall. Okay, and has been unveiled on the roof of under construction Parliament building. It is totally made of bronze and it weighs 9,500 kg. Now it is being supported by a steel structure made up of steels of 6,500 kg. The next is United Nations report where India is set to beat China in population. So we can see that India is set to surpass China as the world's most populous country in 2023. Okay, with each counting more than 1.4 billion residents this year. मतलब दोनों कंट्री का पॉपुलेशन 1.4 बिलियन से ज़्यादा होगा. Now the next is the world population is estimated to reach 8 billion by November 15 this year, and it will grow to 8.5 billion in 2030 and 10.4 billion in 2100. The next is an initiative by Reserve Bank of India. So the Reserve Bank of India has put in place a mechanism to facilitate international trade in rupees with immediate effect. Fine. So banks who will be acting as authorized dealers for such transactions, they have to take prior approval of the RBI to facilitate the international trade in rupees. So it aims to promote growth of global trade with emphasis on exports from India and to support the increasing interest of global trading community in Indian rupee. Now friends, from sports we have a very important news about Wimbledon Grand Slam. So on Saturday, 23-year-old Elena Rybakina, she has won her first Grand Slam title. When she entered the Wimbledon 2022, she was ranked 23rd. So there is a tendency where we can see that much of the Grand Slam titles in the single women's category has been won by the new players, which is called as breakthroughs. मतलब जो पहली बार ग्रैंड स्लैम जीते हैं, अ प्लेयर फर्स्ट ग्रैंड स्लैम विन. फाइन. सो यहाँ पर हम देखेंगे द सेम फॉर द विम्बल्डन. सो इट हैज़ बीन वन फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम बाय एलेना रबाकिना. अगर हम मेल की बात करें, सो मेल में ये चीज़ नहीं देखी जा रही है. मेल में क्या देखा जा रहा है कि देयर इज़ अ डोमिनेंस ऑफ 3 प्लेयर्स, दैट इज नोवाक जोकोविक, रोजर फेडरर एंड राफेल नडाल, हु हैव मेड डोमिनेंस इन द ग्रैंड स्लैम. तो अगर हम देखेंगे दैट दिस बिग थ्री दे हैव वन 63 ऑफ द 76 मेजर्स प्लेड सिंस विम्बल्डन 2003. अगर हम ग्रैंड स्लैम काउंट करें इन प्लेयर्स का, तो सबसे ज़्यादा राफेल नडाल के पास है 22 एंड देन नोवाक जोकोविक एंड फेडरर ईच हैविंग 21. अगर हम ओवरऑल मैन वुमेन की मिला के बात करें तो सबसे ज़्यादा ग्रैंड स्लैम टाइटल है टू सेरेना विलियम्स, शी हैज़ 23 ग्रैंड स्लैम टाइटल्स. So friends, that's all for today. We will meet tomorrow again with a daily Hindu analysis. Till then, have a nice time. Take care. Thank you.